Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How are you all doing? I've only got about 45 minutes before the sun sets, so I got a boogie woogie oogie, and I'm only going to be doing 3 miles out of the 3.5 miles of the trail today. So we got a boogie. Like Daryl Hall and John Oates say, "You're out of touch. I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head when you're not around. Whoa, whoa." You're out of touch, and I'm out of time. I got to tell you, let me speak proper English. I have to tell you, we talk slang today. I got to tell you, right? I have to tell you that the 80s had the best music, the most profound music, the era that music made a lot of sense. Nowadays, it's all about I effed your wife, or even worse. I don't even want to get into it, right? I mean, God. We live in the most selfish period of time our world has ever experienced, and the internet has a lot to do with that, and these smartphones have a lot to do with that. It's just the way things have gone. I'm just not surprised. We live in a messed up society. In my opinion, of course, right? That's my opinion that I'm entitled to per the First Amendment here in the US, which is your freedom of speech, right? within reason, right? Anyway, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco Bay Trail here at Bear Island in Redwood City, California, where I live. This is episode number 879. Oh, man. Episode number 879. Look at that beautiful sun. It's been a little overcast, but it hasn't rained. Now there's a family coming. I'm going to wait for them to pass. Hasn't rained last couple of days, but it's been overcast. It's probably going to rain later this week. I haven't checked that far ahead into the forecast. But, yeah, it's 60 degrees. And the air is fresh once again today. It just smells fresh. It's a beautiful day for a walk. Yeah, it's a little chilly, so I have the jacket on. But it's all good. This is also day 25 of the GNA membership drive. I'll share more about that in a little bit. And today we're going to be talking about coping with the daily aspects of life. Coping with the daily aspects of life. Hey, babe. Respectfully, maturely, professionally. Enjoy your walk, love. So beautiful. Thank you, babe. Babe, are you going to be joining me on these walks, hopefully at some point? I know we're not pushing it per your doctor's orders, but, yeah, it would be nice to go on some walks with purpose along by my side, right, baby? She's like, yes, really soon. I hope so. And we're not gonna overly push it, baby steps. But I gotta tell you, babe, while you're here, because I know you're probably not gonna be here too long. I know you're gonna probably rest till I get back home, but I gotta tell you, babe, you are an inspiration. I'm sure some other people feel the same way, but regardless, you're an inspiration to me because everything that you've dealt with in life and all the struggles that you've gone through and how you have fought through all of that, I'm really proud of you. And I will tell you again, like I told you a few years back, about we've been together a little over 3 years, and you remember when you were working back in those days and you would listen to me through the earphones at your work. And I was going through some stuff, some severe bullying and harassment that still continues to this day. Thank you, love. Yeah, you're welcome. And I decided to put, and this was before this channel here, which used to be Coach Eli 2, uncensored live streams. Then it went to Coach Eli 2, authentic live streams, because we got it monetized. But before all that happened, we just had this channel as a backup. Now it's been a fully monetized channel for over 2 years, thanks to you and your very inspirational stories. Got to give credit where credit's due. And I hid my main channel where I was doing the walks on back then because I just wanted a break. And you reached out to me that same day and you said, what am I going to do now that you aren't doing your walks and I don't have you to listen to help me get through my days? And later on that night, I immediately unhid my channel and went right back to work. Because if I can help one person better their lives, if I can help one person, just one person, snap out of depression and snap out of a rut and snap out of the lack of self-love, then I will keep on going. And you inspired me back then, and you continue to inspire me right now. And listen, guys, here's the thing. You want your woman to inspire you. Why would you want to be with a woman that's not inspirational? And you want your lady to be your biggest cheerleader, and Dawn has been. Sure, we've had our moments at times, but she's always been on my side. And I sincerely and wholeheartedly appreciate that. Hey, Tia, how you doing? Tia says, hey, Don. You see, Tia says hi to you before to me. No, that's the right thing to do, Tia. Ladies first. I'm just giving you friendly shit. Nice of you to be here, Tia. Hi, Eli. There we go. That sun's going to be setting soon, Tia. I better boogie, woogie, oogie. Yeah, today we're going to be discussing coping with the daily aspects of life. Because life's going to throw you or bring you new challenges each and every day. And I'm going to tell everyone out here, if you don't already understand this or know this, you should. But if you don't, you need to expect life to throw you and bring you new challenges each and every day. No one's perfect. Life's not fair. It never has been, and it never will be. And if you can understand that, if you can just start to understand that life is not fair and it's going to throw you a new challenge or multiple challenges every day, it's going to be hard for you to cope with things that are just a normal part of life, whether you like it or not. I don't like a lot of the things that I have to deal with. There are a lot of things I don't like about what people are doing. And that's not only online, it's offline as well too. It's just people in general nowadays. I think nowadays people are just being raised differently. People are being raised lacking morals, values, and ethics. And a lot of people take advantage of the system. Here in the United States, a lot of people like to take advantage of our Constitution. And they claim, oh, my constitutional rights are being violated. You're trying to silence my freedom of speech. No. You're trying to take away my Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, rights. No. Yada, 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 right? A lot of people don't understand that, yes, you have those constitutional rights. But if you do certain things that deems you to be mentally incompetent, mentally ill, unstable, mentally and emotionally, those rights can and will be taken from you. You know, for me, here's the thing. Here's the thing. For me, I've always been open to feedback, suggestions, and change. But what I've always shut down in the real world and online is harassment and bullying. And people that use intimidation tactics to try to get their way or get what they want or make it appear like they're better than you in front of a group of people, whether it's in the real world or on social media platforms like YouTube, right? And I'm not going to lie, when I was younger and I didn't know better and I wasn't as strong as I am today, those intimidation tactics worked on me and they would scare me away, but they don't scare me anymore. I don't get intimidated very easily. I don't. I practically don't even get intimidated by anything at all anymore, because after 6.5 years of doing this full time on YouTube and dealing with the most extreme bullying and harassment by multiple people, and some people have taken it much further than others, I've learned to understand that it's a part of the game. Whether you like it or not, it's a part of the game. Does that mean you have to tolerate it? No, you don't, and there are things you can do about it. But regardless of whatever actions you decide to take, you have to get to the point of where you understand that's just how it goes, especially if you're a public figure, online or offline. Now, just because you're a public figure doesn't mean people get a free pass to harass and stalk you and stuff like that. They don't, right? There's a fine line. There's a super fine line between First Amendment freedom of speech and what's crossing the line into bullying, harassment, stalking, cyber stalking, invasion of privacy. There's a fine line, right? And you got to understand what I've learned over the last 6.5 years of being on YouTube as a public figure is that there are many people that are going to try to ride that line to the maximum legal amount of the law that still supposedly protects them by their First Amendment freedom of speech rights. They're gonna ride that line on the maximum tail end, right? At least they think they're gonna ride that. At least they think they're riding the line to the line, but not crossing it yet. Many of them have crossed the line, right? Oh, it feels more chilly today. I think it's a little bit more windy. Whew. I hope I'll warm up by the way back. I feel it's a problem within that person's psyche to go to extremes. Well, people that take it to that extreme, whether it's online or offline, Tia. Hey, Alex, the beer master. I'll get to you in a second, bro. Great to see you here. People that take it to that extreme level, Tia, it's for a reason. And like I've said before, Tia, in my opinion, there are many people, in my opinion, in general, that are struggling with mental and emotional issues. There are many people that are mentally and emotionally unstable. There are many people that are lonely and miserable, and they need to bully and harass other people as a coping mechanism. You understand? They see these types of people that do these types of things, that ride lines, ride the line to the max, right? Thinking that, okay, we're going to push it to the max without crossing it when they have crossed it, right? For example, purposes, right? They do all that as a coping mechanism because they are miserable deep within themselves. And they need to try to bully, harass, stalk, and kick someone else down as a way of coping with the misery they feel deep inside, right? Now, the proper way to handle this is how Dawn has handled this, because Dawn's felt this way based on her family stuff. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just saying, somebody that's been around for a while know the backstory, okay? But see, instead of Dawn coming out here on YouTube and just attacking, bullying, and harassing people because she was feeling miserable at one point, she did something about it. She got with me. We got her the best doctors, and she's had a psychologist, psychiatrist. She's gotten on the right medication. She has, a nutritionist. She's got a couple of neurology doctors for the seizures and the epilepsy. The seizure disorder. And there are many other things that we're not going to even talk about yet that we'll announce down the road. If someone decides to, if people decide to give us a minimum of 5 super chats at $5 minimum piece, and we hit that super chat goal like you see here if you're here live, then Dawn and I will go live within some time this week and share where she's at. If not, it's going to wait till the beginning of the new year. Just a little incentive. Alex the Beer Master. I'm just curious, Eli, because I have a YouTube channel, that doesn't mean it makes me a public figure, does it? Just asking. Yes, you are a public figure, Alex the Beer Master. If you're creating content on YouTube, you are automatically a public figure. You are. You are automatically a public figure. You're creating content on a public forum. You're running live streams on a public forum. How you been, Alex? It's great to see you here, buddy. I've been very busy, man. I've got so much going on. I got to eventually make it to your channel, probably in the new year. We're going to have everything set within the GNA at that point, my organization, the Genuine Networking Association. see here. Hi, Alex the Beer Master, says Tia. Alex the Beer Master says, what's up there, Tia? Tia says, yes, it all ties in. I totally agree. It's a coping mechanism. Tia, furthermore, says, been kind of chilling out today. Alex, have a busy week. Thank you, Tia, says Alex. Yeah. Thank you, Eli, says Alex the Beer Master. Eli, I appreciate that, my friend. And Tia says, you're welcome, Alex. And I say you're welcome as well, Alex. All right, we're caught up now. All right, so, yeah, Tia, exactly. It's a coping mechanism. Instead of getting the proper help to resolve the medical issues. These are medical issues, right? Now, I'm just stating my opinions. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just saying that any normal human being that has half a brain would understand that when people behave a certain way or are reacting a certain way, they need professional help. Probably by multiple doctors, psychological doctors, wellness doctors, like you need a primary care physician, and that primary care physician, if you go to a good facility like Don and I have, Sutter Health, and it's part of the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, is part of the Sutter Health nonprofit organization. It's a very, very good nonprofit organization. They'll refer you to anyone you need in network, and it's all covered by your insurance. And if you don't have insurance with the Affordable Health Care Act, and if you don't qualify for the Affordable Health Care Act, you're making more than enough money to either buy your own insurance or your company offers you insurance. There's no excuse for anyone to not have insurance, health insurance. It is absolutely critical. And that's one of the biggest things I want to recommend to everyone is that, look, if you're struggling with anything, get the help that you need. If you already have a primary care physician, go see your primary care physician, and they will refer you to the right doctors that you need. Because people that come out here on YouTube, for example, or other, platforms on the internet, or people that react this way in person, again, it's their coping mechanism. And instead of just coping with the problem by trying to terrorize other people and kick other people down and make other people look bad, or you try to make them look bad so it gives you an artificial sense of feeling better about yourself, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not handling the underlying issue or issues, in my opinion. And again, this is a generalized conversation. Some people out here think that I cater my content to specific people on this platform and try to hide who I'm talking about in a roundabout way. No, I'm not. I do base my content on my experiences, but I've experienced many things with many people, and I'm speaking in general. I want to make that very clear. These are generalized statements that are also my First Amendment protected opinions. I have to ask people that are struggling deep within, instead of lashing out and trying to terrorize other people as your coping mechanism with your lack of self-love, right? Why not fix the underlying issue? Why not fix the underlying issue? Why not go see a set of doctors and take care of yourself? Again, I motivate and inspire and encourage everyone to go see their primary care physician if you haven't in a while and get checked out Tell them what you're dealing with, and they'll refer you to the right doctors within the network. Now, if you don't have insurance, or if you aren't with the best doctor, you can always switch. You should switch to a medical facility that has a big network. Now, that's a lot harder to do in the more rural areas of our country and the world. For example, where Don's parents live in the mountains, they do have a hospital like 20 minutes away, but they told me that's a crappy hospital. The closest decent hospital is in a town called Merced, an hour away from where they live. So even if you live in a rural area, this is what my recommendation is. You've got to get you've got to get a primary care physician at a decent facility with a larger network, and that means you may have to drive an hour or an hour and a half if you're in such a remote area. Because in your area you probably have limited doctors and they don't have the biggest network. You've got to become a part of a medical facility, preferably one that's a nonprofit. Most of them are nonprofits. Get a primary care physician from a medical facility that has every single type of doctor involved as part of that network. And you can be referred within your network, and they give you access to a portal now where you can manage all of your doctors and appointments. And if you have any co-pays, it's all done for you. There's no excuse. There's absolutely zero excuse for people to not take care of themselves nowadays. But again, instead of people doing the right thing, taking care of themselves medically, they come out here on YouTube, for example, and use it as a coping mechanism. And that further sinks them into depression. That further sinks them into a state where they lack even more self-love. And it triggers them to constantly react and overreact and lash out. We're almost at the 1.5 mile mark. Wow. Love it. That plane was flying out of the San Carlos private plane airport. Look at that sky. Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. That's asking way too much from some people out here, I'll tell you that. Yeah. Coping with the daily aspects of life is not easy. It wasn't meant to be easy. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Oh, you like the song, huh? Tia, listen, like they say in the slang world today, you ain't got to lie to kick it. My singing sucks, and you know it. But regardless of the fact that my singing sucks, at least the fact that I have the balls to come out here and sing a song to prove a point and act like a fool, that's the entertainment aspect of my streams, right? Because we talk about seriously natured topics here at the GNA. But we don't want to bore people. We don't want people falling asleep. So we got to throw in a little entertainment every now and then, right? Right. Oh. She said, right. I'm very intuitive for a guy, Tia. That's the thing. I'm trying to help more guys brush up on their instinct and their intuition. I've always said, and this is not to degrade my masculinity in any way, shape, or form, but I've always said I feel like I have the male version of women's intuition. And people that have, people that have dealt with me in life know how good my intuition is. They know how good it is. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to share a brief story on the way back. Hey, Alex. Oh, Eli, you're a trip. Keep up the good work, my friend. I appreciate you. Cheers. Yeah, you too, Alex, the beer master. Yeah, I am a trip, dude. I guess so. That's the way we talk nowadays. We talk in millennial lingo, slang, right? So, yeah, we're going to just turn around over here. This is where I would normally turn to go to the observation deck, but I'm going to turn around because you see that the sun is almost about to set. It's behind those mountains over there, that hill over there. So let's just turn around here. So yeah, I didn't even realize this. Dawn made me aware of this new movie that was just released. It's called Wicked. And I believe she told me it's a play on The Wizard of Oz. And a lot of people are saying it's a really good movie. And if you can watch it in IMAX, it's available in IMAX, but not every theater has IMAX. We don't have IMAX at our theater in Redwood City. There's one in Daly City, about 25 minutes north, that has IMAX. And I don't mind driving there to go to see the movie, but I want to watch this movie with D-box seats, the seats that shake, and then in real D 3D. And one of the typically we have Century Theaters which were bought out by Cinemark. So Cinemark is one of the largest theater companies, and we have a ton of Cinemark theaters out here in the Bay Area. And some of them have what's called Cinemark XD, which is a larger picture, larger screen in 4K resolution, similar to IMAX, but not quite IMAX. Close to IMAX with the picture and the sound, but not quite there. But pretty good, right? Now, people are saying online to go watch Wicked watch Wicked in IMAX, but I couldn't find a theater that has IMAX with D-box seats. And Don and I love those D-box seats that move along with the movie, but we also love real D 3D. And there are very limited showings during the first week of every movie that comes out that have all three at once. Cinemark XD, which is similar to IMAX, a bigger screen with 4K resolution, a better sound system, real D 3D glasses so you can actually see the action like it's happening like in your face, right? And also D-box seats. I read the book. It's excellent. Cool. We'll let you know how it is, Tia. We'll let you know how it is. So we're going to go watch it at a movie theater because the one in Redwood City here, the times where all three of those options are available are times we can't go. So we're going to go on Tuesday and watch it in the afternoon. In Cinemark XD, 4K, bigger screen, more immersive sound, similar to IMAX. Picture and sound like IMAX. In real D 3D, with the real D 3D glasses and the moving D-box seats that shake you like you're actually there. Like, they when there's like a big boom or something, you feel it on the seat. And the rumbles and all that. I love that. We don't go to a lot of movies but very prominent movies, especially, remakes of very popular movies that we watched growing up. Yeah, I'll watch them in the theater, but it has to be with the seats, the D box, and in Cinemark XD at a minimum. And if we can also add Real D 3D, it's got to be like that. Like, that is great. And then at our Cinemarks, every theater I think does this now, but at our Cinemarks, you order your food online. You pay for everything online. You go with your QR code, and you order your popcorn and your sodas and snacks, and they deliver them right to your seat. And you have reserved seats. You can sit wherever you want. And this is great. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's not cheap. But Don and I don't go out that often, so we don't spend a lot of money. And we don't have a lot of money, but, you still got to go out every now and then, right? So we'll let you folks know how Wicked is. Oh, boy. Yeah. Coping with the daily aspects of life is what we're talking about here today. There's a right and the wrong way to do it. You got to resolve the issue. You got to learn to identify how to handle anything that comes your way, especially if it comes your way in repetitive form. And then, besides coping with it, you squash it and you just don't deal with it. You don't let it get to you, right? So I call this coping with the daily aspects of life because that happens to everyone. And many people just cope with these things, but they don't resolve the issues. They don't take any action to better themselves. And a lot of that has to do with their mental health. And in 2025, part of what the GNA is going to focus on is mental health. And we're going to talk about it from the standpoint of our opinions. We're not doctors, but we're going to try to get some doctors and therapists, which are doctors, therapists are doctors. They're all a type of doctor. We're going to try to get some doctors, some primary care physicians, some therapists, psychologists. We're going to try to get some so we can talk about this. Because one of the things, let me take out my glasses right now. One of the things that I really feel our whole planet is struggling with right now is mental health and mental health resources. We need to do a better job of getting people mental health resources. And that's part of what the GNA is going to do. We'll already do it, but we're going to do it at a more broad-based level in 2025 and beyond. I can see over here as it starts to get a little bit, it's not quite dark yet, but the sun is pretty much almost gone down. It's like dusk right now, right? It's getting darker by the minute. If you see over there, and I'll zoom in if I can here. You see over there? That's a salt, I believe it's a salt mining company. They've been there before I was even born 50 years ago. And they extract salt from the bay. And there's like a lot of salt piles over there. Whoops. There it is. I wonder if I switch and switch back. Yeah, it automatically. Oh, there we go. It doesn't automatically retract. I got to do it myself. Pinch zoom on the fly. You know, we're going to take a very strong stance here at the GNA in 2025 to really provide people mental health resources. We want to be a liaison for mental health, for spiritual health, right? For emotional support. Because nowadays with the internet and what many anonymous people can do to really affect your life on the internet anonymously, we need to have support groups where people can go to when they're going through these things. And another thing that I feel we need to do is we really need to figure out a way to provide more mental support for people that feel the need to come on the internet and hide in plain sight and troll and attack people. We need to get people that are causing the issues the help. Because no one in their right mind is going to spend most of their days on the internet on pretend accounts, hiding in plain sight, and just attacking other people and trying to drive them to the point of where in some cases they may end themselves, right? Like, honestly, we need to also start focusing on analyzing those people more. There have been some movies and some documentaries and some studies on the psychology of a troll, but we need to put in more resources, and that's what we're going to do here at the GNA. But see, there are also people that are real life trolls and use their real name and show their face and are publicly doing this to people and not hiding their identity. We need to get those people help too. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing here in 2025 and beyond to give the average everyday person the resources that they need for a better lifestyle, personally and professionally, mental health resources, emotional support, right? Health overall, because, hey, just because you're mentally healthy and emotionally healthy, you also have to take care of your physical health. You got to, get into good shape. A lot of people are extremely overweight, and they don't even realize how much that's going to shorten their life. And a lot of those people, from what I've seen, in my opinion, this is a general statement, a lot of those people that are overweight are very insecure, unhappy, and miserable about that. And they project their insecurities online and offline. So their physical health is deteriorating because of their lack of self-care, primarily excessive weight and probably other issues, right? And that further affects their mental health and emotional health and their state of mind, right? We want to get people the help that they need to better themselves. Now, part of the problem is a lot of people take a long time to come around before they're open to that kind of help, and some people may never come around to it. And guess what happens to those people? The people that never come around to realizing they need help, at some point, what happens to them, Tia? Guess what happens to those people eventually, prematurely? You know the answer. I'm going to wait for you to put it out there. Alex says, I'll tell you this much, Eli. I am so happy that I am not a troll, because that would not be the real me. It's just not worth it to me anyway to troll people. Not my cup of tea. Cheers. I will never do that. Fantastic, Alex. And Tia says death. Right. They die prematurely. They die prematurely. So some people that do these dumb things could potentially, in my opinion, be on their deathbed. And if they do die based on physical illnesses, mental illnesses, emotional, even mental and emotional illnesses, like seizures, can't kill you because they create a physical reaction. So a lot of these people are going to die trolling on the internet, and they're going to have no legacy, at least no respectful legacy to leave behind. That's on them. And again, you know, us folks here at the GNA, the Genuine Networking Association, we can't force anyone to accept our help or use our resources or use our recommended resources, right? That's up to you. We're putting this out there because we know there are people that have been through a lot and do want to do something about it, but they feel like every time they've tried to do something about it, nobody helps them. Not the government, not doctors, not anyone, right? Like, have you ever had that feeling, Tia or Alex or anyone else, where you needed help with something legally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and no matter what you did, nobody helped you, people would turn you away, right? A lot of people that even want help don't even continue trying to get help because they're discouraged because they've been turned down. Again, by our own government, by medical facilities, etc. And let me tell you something. Don and I have been through the same thing. But let me tell you this. I'm not going to go into any great details here, but let me tell you this. Don and I, we don't give up. Don and I, we don't give up. And whenever something, like, I'll give you an example, like Blue Cross didn't want to pay some claims for Don's insurance last year, and we had this $5,000 bill. And we contacted Palo Alto Medical Foundation many times, and they told us resubmit the claims as medically necessary, and that the Blue Cross said they're out of network. No, they're not out of network. They're the same network of doctors. Well, then after 2 to 3 months, Palo Alto Medical Foundation got back to us and said Anthem Blue Cross has had billing issues with us and many providers this year. Oh, it kind of sounds like they're playing the old insurance scam of taking longer to pay claims, which that means they have more money in investment accounts, making more money. So the longer that they take to pay out claims, the more they recover off their investments. They would never admit to that. They'll just say, we deny the claim because it's deemed not medically necessary or it's out of network. Bullshit. Bullshit. So guess what? Now, all of that has been paid for. Anthem Blue Cross has paid it off. You got to be diligent. You got to watch out for yourselves. You got to take action against things that you are rightfully owed and you rightfully deserve or rightfully pay for. If you sit back and let people deny you services that you paid for and try to make excuses and you don't fight them, then you're going to lose every time. And that's what discourages people. So here at the GNA, we know how to handle these situations. Plus, here's the good thing when it comes to insurance. I'm still a licensed property and casualty and life and health insurance agent. I have both licenses. It's under one number. But if anyone understands the system, it's a licensed insurance broker. I'm just not actively selling anymore. My licenses are still active, but I'm not selling anymore. Hang on, Alex. I'm having a hard time seeing the screen here. Alex. Oh, here we go. As far as I know, Eli, I don't think I've ever been turned down if I need to talk to somebody. Well, that's good because you're a good person that doesn't give up, Alex. Babe, great show. Really? Have you been watching the whole thing? Wow, babe, I don't know what to say. Thank you. I look forward to coming home soon and continuing to watch that Don't Fuck with Cats show. That's a great show, a great Netflix documentary. I believe it came out in 2020, but Donna and I, like, we started watching it last year, I believe, but we fell asleep through it. And then it just ran through the course of the night. Because when you watch something on Netflix or a streaming service, it shows you what you've watched, right? And neither one of us remember watching it. So we started watching it again last night. And it's about this one dude that would kill cats and suck them up into a vacuum cleaner and put those videos out on YouTube on a sock account. And they were trying to find him. And then they found him. And I think we're on episode 3. I think that's the final episode. I look forward to watching that tonight. I gotta tell you, babe, some people are really woo. Oh my God. God. Babe, would you agree that the status of our mental health, not just here in the U.S., but globally, is struggling significantly? Like, we've got more mentally ill people nowadays than ever before. Yeah, Tia, it is. It absolutely is very sickening. Once we watch the final, I think there's just one more part, one more episode. When we finish watching the full thing, I'll share with you behind the scenes, and I'll probably talk about it publicly. Some millennial dude. I mean, these millennials. I don't know what to tell you. It's not all of them, but it's the majority. Over 50% of millennials, they behave this way in some capacity. Now, there are some good ones. There's always an exception. There's always an exception to every rule. But yeah, that's just... People are disturbed. How about dysfunctional, babe? Do you feel people are dysfunctional? They're dysfunctional. And the dysfunctional people, the dysfunctional people try to say, what are you, a doctor trying to diagnose us? No. But then they try to diagnose us and say, oh, we're not the dysfunctional ones, you're the dysfunctional ones. So first you accuse me of trying to diagnose you and not being a doctor. But now you're trying to diagnose me and say, I'm fucked up with the same thing that I was supposedly sharing my opinion on regarding you. God, these people are really woo. God, we got some severely mentally ill people in this world nowadays. And this is, listen, I'm not here to disrespect any of them. Like, I feel for you. We need to get you to the right help. And we already have a lot of resources, but we're going to have more resources to help you get the right help if you're open to it. Beautiful night here, huh, babe, at Bear Island. You're right, Eli. I don't give up. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, Don says, don't get me started. I'm not trying to. I gotta live with you. I'm not trying to start shit with you, babe. I gotta live with you. Don't get me wrong, I love living with you, but still. You know, if you trigger your woman, it's like poking a bear, man. They never stop coming at you for like a long time. God. God, man. Whew, yeah. We're getting towards the end up the trail. Look at that beautiful sky. And Don and I started watching this program on the History Channel. Things that changed the world or something like that. I can't remember what the show is called exactly. It's like things that changed the world today or nowadays. I can't remember. I'll get the title and I'll share it for everyone. The show is actually still on with new episodes on the History Channel, but you can also download it on demand. It's the first season's available on streaming on Hulu, but not the second one. But this is the great thing. If you still have a cable provider or satellite provider like we have DirecTV, you can download the new stuff on demand directly from History. Now, History also has History Vault, but it's pretty much the same thing. History Vault is more so if you don't have a cable subscription and you just want to watch history that way. But if you have a cable or satellite subscription, you get access to all the stuff on demand, and a lot of the on-demand stuff, even on your home DVR digital video recorder, has no commercials, and it's in higher quality 1080p instead of 1080i interlaced. Fantastic. So, wow, it's amazing how bad mental can be anywhere. Yeah, babe. Oh, mental health. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Babe, would it be safe to say that you've witnessed the most incredible amount of mentally and emotionally unstable people on YouTube and the way they behave out here? Erratically. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. God. In our opinion, of course, right, babe? Because we're protected to share any opinion as our First Amendment rights, right, baby? We do have First Amendment rights, right? We don't cross that line into what's considered slander or defamation or stalking and harassment and all that, right? And it's getting worse, in my opinion. It is, because no one's doing a thing about it. The GNA is going to start doing things about it in the beginning of 2025. And we're already in progress. We're already taking steps to prepare our platform to better combat this, not just for us, but for everyone. Don says, yes, it is out of control. This was based on YouTube. Yeah, the movie Don't Fuck with Cats, babe. Yeah, you're right. It was based on YouTube videos. That dude put them on a sock account. Oh man, excuse me. I took my allergy medication. But every now and then, you have a moment, right? Isn't that a beautiful sight? God, I love when it gets to the dusk part of the night. It's not totally dark yet, but it's not fully bright either. Like if you just look back, my absolute most favorite trail. I just feel so fortunate to have a trail like this so close to home where I can walk 3 to 4 miles a day. And I have peace and quiet, and I can run my shows, and there's good reception. I mean, God bless you. And thank you, God. I haven't done this side of the trail for a while. It's only a quarter mile out and a quarter mile back. This is the prettiest time of day to me. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I would have to agree with you, Tia. Yeah, babe, I got your I got your message, and I thought I had already done that, babe, but I'll double check the block words list and all that, and I'll take care of everything afterwards. Yeah. This is my perspective of coming out of this trail here. Sometimes I think I should have been a cinematographer. I love video. I've always loved I used to love audio younger, but then I grew to love video. I've always loved audio and video. And I've always loved like broadcasting radio, TV, or both. And YouTube has allowed me to live my dream. And again, who would have ever thought we could broadcast live on a platform that's the biggest media platform in the world now? YouTube, I heard actually the other day I was here's a fact. If you Google search this now, I underestimated the value of YouTube on its own outside of Google. YouTube right now, some people estimate is worth anywhere from 300 to 450 billion. And I mean, if that doesn't speak for itself, I think that's even bigger than Hollywood. I mean, YouTube right now, and probably for the foreseeable future, as long as they keep on. Here's the thing: I think they were even talking about possibly splitting up YouTube into its own company. I don't think it would work. You need to have the backing of Google and Alphabet Inc. Is that shocking to you? 300 billion to 450 billion. I wonder if they tried to sell it, would Elon Musk put in a full cash offer? Elon Musk doesn't have that much. I think Elon Musk is worth around 250 billion right now or something like that. Not even the richest man in the world, or our richest person, because women are rich too. No, I'm sorry about that. Not even the richest person in the world could afford to buy YouTube as a standalone company in cash. That's how much the company's worth now. And I've underestimated Google and Alphabet Inc. They're a $1 trillion company. I think almost a $2 trillion company. God, Jesus Christ, man. Got some people coming, so I'm gonna come out the side here. Coming with this dog. I'm not gonna step on that pile of grass I almost tripped over yesterday. You see, once you see something, you remember it, right? One thing I'm fortunate to have is a good memory. It's actually a very beautiful night, and I cannot complain one bit. I cannot complain one bit. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to stay on for another 5 to 10 minutes and go over to the marina. It's probably a very beautiful time for the marina right now. Put a 1 in the chat. If I get just one, we can do that. Tia has that 1, and we're good. Coping with the daily aspects of life. Very important subject. To recap, you've got to learn to understand that life is not fair. And you're going to have many different things to deal with every day, and most of them are going to be unexpected. You got to learn to expect the unexpected. Then it won't bother you as much, or even at all at some point, because you grow to learn to understand that the world's not fair. And I'd probably, if I had to guess, in my opinion, more than half the world has at least some form of mental and or emotional instability, right? So you're dealing with very unstable people that are flexing their freedom of speech rights. And every country has their version of our First Amendment, but that's what we call it here in the US. And they're flexing that as a shield to try to protect themselves from, being called a bully or harasser, or to protect themselves legally as well, right? You've got to learn to have tolerance. And I'll say you have to learn to have a good amount of tolerance. Now, when it gets to a point of where people actually do cross the line, that you don't have to tolerate. But look, if somebody on the internet is teasing you every now and then, or is calling you a name every now and then, and it's not really going to affect you, you should let that go. I'm talking about constant, repetitive harassment, stalking. I'm talking about people that will take things from online to offline. Those are the types of things that you should not have to tolerate. But even if you're dealing with those types of things, you also have to learn to not let it get to you. And you also have to learn that just because some people may be using themselves as being bullies on the internet for their content, you don't have to use it as your content. Now, for me, like I've always said, because I teach personal development, and my job is to present examples of, what I'm talking about, right? Now, I've even learned to change up my examples and not even mention names, and not even try to use other experiences as direct examples. I've learned to more so generalize my examples, and so that's something that I would recommend people that are dealing with harassment and bullying on the internet, is to not fight fire with fire. Okay? Don't fight fire with fire. Document as much as you can, and handle things behind the scenes. And if you're a personal development instructor like myself, and you want to use examples, use basic, broad-based examples without specifically mentioning people's names. Try to keep it as professional as possible. I know it's hard. It's been hard for me. It's hard for anyone going through something like this, but do the best you can to keep it as professional as possible. All right, folks, get your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. I'm going to be going off the air. We'll be going off the air in just a few. I'm going to come down here. I haven't shown you folks this side here in a while. Let me turn on the front light. The marina actually continues, but they've blocked off this section over here. And if you want to get past this, you got to be a part of the complex. Marina slip information, laundry room. So you can't even access this side anymore unless you're a part of the apartment complex, or a part of storing your boat out here, leasing space. You used to be able to go out this way, but that's roped off. They're working on it. So I did some walks just about 3 or 4 years ago where you could walk to the other side there. That could extend the walk. You could do like a 3-hour walking with purpose stream if that was open. Have I done? Maybe I've done a few 3-hour walking with purpose streams. But they typically never go over 2 hours. All right, get your final questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just a few minutes here. Really enjoyed the show here today, and we had some good people here, and my lady was here as well. Beautiful walk, Eli. Thank you, Tia. Everyone enjoy your evening. Absolutely. You enjoy your evening as well, too. Thank you to my girlfriend, Dawn, for being here. Thank you to Tia for being here. Thank you to Alex, the beer master, for being here. Lots more content is coming soon. Keep it locked here to GNA 2. Oh, by the way, if you want to become a part of the GNA, subscribe here and go to the main channel, which is listed below in the description. GNA, Genuine Personal Development. I'm doing occasional in-studio live streams there between now and the end of the year. Then at the beginning of the year, those will come back here. The in-studio streams will come back here to GNA 2, and that will go... Actually, that will become a channel that will primarily just be pre-recorded content.